Hi, y'all. Lucky you can't go a single day without hearing my voice. So we are going to go through lesson 2.6, standard to vertex form. We did go over this last year, but I know it's been a while, so we're going to do a quick refresher here. We have two forms that our quadratic equation can be in. Standard form, which helps us identify our A, B, and C values, and then factor. And vertex form, which helps us identify our vertex, where H inside the parentheses and K outside the parentheses make up the X and Y value of our vertex. So vertex form helps us identify the vertex. Standard form helps us put the equation in a format where we can best factor it to see some other attributes about the graph. I'm going to give you a little shortcut in converting between these two when it comes from standard form to vertex form. So in this one, we're given the equation in standard form. To do it in vertex form, or to write the equation in vertex form, the easiest thing to do is graph it and find the vertex. So I'm going to do that on your calculator. Hopefully y'all can see this. You go to graph on your calculator and then type in the equation given. So I just typed in 3x squared plus 6x minus 1 into my graph, and I clicked enter, and it gives me this equation right here. Okay? Now what I need to find is the vertex. So once I've hit enter, I'm going to go to menu, so menu, and scroll all the way down to analyze graph. As I saw before, my quadratic was opening like this. So if it's opening upwards, my vertex is a minimum. So when I go to analyze graph, I'm going to choose minimum, which is this second one, and press enter. After that, you should see a dotted little black line pop up. I'm going to use the center piece to scroll to the left of the vertex and press the middle button. And then I'm going to scroll to the right of the vertex and press the middle button again. Once I do that, I should see this black point pop up. Notice there that this is the point -1, -4. That is my vertex. Okay? So now that I know my vertex, I can convert to vertex form. So I'm going to rewrite vertex form down here as y equals ax minus h squared plus k. Okay, now here, now that I've got the vertex form written here, I'm just going to plug in values for a, h, and k. I'm going to start with k values. So k is the y value of the vertex. So the point that I'm going to plug in for k is -4. Okay. H is the x value of the vertex, so the point that I'm going to plug in for h is -1. And then finally, a comes from my original equation. Notice in standard form, a is the letter in front of x squared, so 3 is my a value. So what I'm going to plug in for a is 3, my a value. So from there, I'm just going to rewrite my final equation. I've got y equals 3. That's what I plugged in for a. X, because I didn't plug anything for x, minus -1. That was my h value. Oops. Squared minus 4. Okay. And final thing here, this double negative, this minus a negative, remember that this becomes a positive. So my final equation in standard, or excuse me, in vertex form is going to be 3x plus 1 squared minus 4. Okay? And that is my equation in vertex form. What I would like for you to do next is try this equation on your own. Answer key will be posted on the board. And then try these practice problems. Here, you can pause the video until you are ready to move on from those and ready to move on to the back side of the page. Let's go ahead and pause the video. And we are back. with converting from vertex form to standard form. So what we did before is we went from standard form to vertex form. Now we're going to go the other way. This one really is just a fancy box method equation or problem. So we're just going to do a quick refresher of box method. Okay. First piece here, remember this squared means write it twice. Whatever is being squared, write it twice. So that's my first step. I'm going to rewrite this as y is equal to 3x minus 2 times x minus 2. Because squared means write whatever this is twice plus 7. Now when I've got a parentheses next to another set of parentheses, it means multiplication. So I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to box method it out. Because remember, a set of parentheses times another set of parentheses, we use box method. So I'm going to draw my box, x minus 2 along the top, the other x minus 2 along the side. X times x gives me x squared. X times negative 2 gives me negative 2x. Negative 2 times x gives me negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 2 gives me positive 4. Now that I have filled in my box with multiplication, I'm going to combine my like terms using addition. So x squared can't combine with anything, so that's just x squared. Negative 2x plus negative 2x gives me negative 4x, and then 4 can't combine with anything else, so I just add it on to the end there. Okay. So that's the box method portion of this, but notice that that was only part of the original equation. It's only the middle part of the original equation. We have to deal with this 3 and with this 7 as well. So I'm going to bring down what I use box method to simplify, and I'm going to keep that in parentheses because I have this 3 on the outside and this plus 7 on the outside. That 3 and that 7 both come from that original equation. Okay. Now I have a 3 on the outside of parentheses. I have a 3 on the outside of parentheses. I can distribute it inside of parentheses. Notice that I don't distribute to the 7 because 7 is not inside the parentheses. I'm just distributing inside the parentheses. So 3 times x squared becomes 3x squared. 3 times negative 4 becomes negative 12. Don't forget the x. 3 times 4 gives me 12. And then I'm still left with this plus 7 on the side. My very last step here is to combine any other like terms. Okay, don't forget your y equals either from the beginning equation. 3x squared can't combine with anything, so I'm left with 3x squared. Negative 12x can't combine with anything, so I'm left with negative 12x. And then finally, 12 and 7 can combine because these two are like terms. If I'm adding them on the same side of the equation, I just add them together. 12 plus 7 is going to give me 19. And that is my final equation in standard form. I know this because I have an a, b, and c value, and my highest exponent is 2. Okay. From here, you can either rewatch the example video, but then you must complete this example problem and the 2 practice problems below. They're invisible right now, but I printed a new version that has them, I promise. Okay? If you have any questions, feel free to ask Ms. Keys or check the answer key. Okay, bye. Oh, where's the...